ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 25 of the Messy Truths podcast. This is Mar.
Look at us.
Yes, 25. This is Mar. I'm coming to you from Montreal.
Middle child from Kanakahage, getting ready to play this game today. And going down south,
Azar from New York City, and I am ready for a game. Believe me, today, at this point of the week, let's just play. That's all I want to do.
Totally ready. Totally
Let's just
ready.
play.
All right. So it is episode 25. And now that we have wrapped up our love month, we are going into another games edition of the Messy Truths podcast. So Nesha is pretty much taking the helm on this one, and she's got some pretty titillating questions for us. Don't you, Dr. J?
I do. Shout out to Oz and Mar, who are always holding me down in my episode of Nisha's Always Busy, and opens up her WhatsApp to these wonderful messages from the ladies. So welcome back, viewers. We're on episode 25. You know I love the games, especially when we had our host, our guest, Charlene, on, and she mentioned about, using games to spice up your life. I love them. I think I'm just a nosy bitch. I think that's what it is. So I love the games. But I have to say, I have another person who's a fan of the games, and that's my G-mom, my nanny. She loves the games. So I'm like, oh my God, this is wonderful. Last time we spent my birthday together, she's like, well, sweetie, you're going to bring the games, right? Oh, yes, nanny.
Aww.
I'm bringing the games. So we have a new game that I ordered during the holidays, and it is called Fluster. Turn off conversational autopilot. So the description says, you've just picked up a game that inspires hilarious stories, sparks insightful moments, and deepens friendships. While you play, close friends reveal things they never have before, and strangers start to feel like they've known each other forever. There are 100 thought-provoking questions. Wow. I don't know about revealing things that we've never said before on air, but, who knows? Fuck it. We'll try it.
Let's do it. I'm here for it.
You mean we're already not revealing too much as it is?
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
It's cringeworthy sometimes when I listen to us, and I'm like, did I just say that? Or did Nesha just say that?
I do a lot of did Nesha just say that? I do that every episode. Every episode.
To be fair, listeners, I think it has to do with my restrictive teacher personality. And then when I come on Messy Truth, I can just let it all out. Yeah, it's like when you unbutton your pants after you had a good meal and you're like, yeah, I'm good. So
taking the bra off when you get home.
Exactly.
We still wear bras? I guess we do.
I'm so glad that this show has that effect on you, Nesha, because yes, this is a safe place. Even though thousands and millions of people will eventually be listening.
It's safe to us. No, but seriously, listeners, if you know me and that my everyday Clark Kent life, I'm very well put together and I never say the wrong things and I'm always correct and diplomatic and blah, blah, blah. And then I come on Messy Truth and I'm a whole fucking mess, but I love it.
We all get flustered.
Exactly.
Yes.
Actually, Angela Davis once told me it is very necessary to sit in your discomfort. So I really shout out to Dr. Davis.
Very deep.
Who I admire because I feel like I live her life path a bit. But the first question on my deck is, and I laugh because I get to see the questions before they do, listeners. What mistake do you keep making again and again and again and again?
Mar, you gonna go first?
Okay, I'll start. I'll help you out.
All right.
The mistake I made again and again and motherfucking again was dating the same dude in different versions. Oh my God. I was dating like the emotional, unavailable dude for years, again and again. They just came in different packages.
Can I just tell you, my mistake is actually very similar. Except I dated different versions of the same dude. As in, it wasn't different dudes. Same dude.
You were dating his personalities.
Nah, he just kept presenting himself in a new light, and I was like, well, maybe this time it'll work, and maybe this time it'll work, and maybe this time it'll work.
That just means you're optimistic, or we're stupid, both of us.
Stupid. I'll go with the latter.
Doesn't Maya Angelou say the first time someone shows you who they are, believe them?
Believe them, girl.
God.
Believe them.
Oh Lord.
So, Mar, viewers want to know what's the dumb mistake.
So lately, I've been trying to practice treat others the way that they treat me.
Oh, we know from the phone episode.
Yeah, we heard all about that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a new thing for me. I've only adopted this within like the last year and a half, and I'm still struggling with it where, someone, gives me like 50%. I'm still giving them like 70 or 80% instead of giving them 50% or less, because you're basically telling me that you can only extend yourself this far with me, and I don't learn that, hello, this person is telling you who they are. You got to listen, So I keep making that mistake, but I am getting better. I am getting very, very good at changing this behavior. So self-control.
So treat people like shit or treat people good and stop dating dumb dudes. Okay, so that's the mistakes we keep making over and over. I have to say, I do think I have officially broken the cycle in my husband because I decided to date and marry my mother in male form. So, yeah.
Oh, there's no going wrong.
Listen,
no going wrong there.
Most people marry some characteristic of their parent. I just happen to marry the loyal version of quality of my mother.
That's
so that's what I like. And
shout out to Mr. Z,
who is in Nihal enjoying himself.
Aww.
I know. Someone is lonely, listeners. Someone is lonely. But I'm okay. I'm not looking for sliding in the DMs. All right. Funny question. This one is funny. What is the worst gift you've ever received?
Yo, I can answer this off the bat. I got this one. This one stayed with me. This was another traumatic moment for me. It was when my ex-boyfriend had nothing for me for my, I think it was my 25th birthday or something. And he went to the fucking gym down the street from his house and bought me a tank top from the gym.
Oh.
The tank top from the gym that was 2 doors down from his house was his birthday gift for me. A birthday that he had plenty of time to prepare, but unfortunately he was preparing the birthday, which was the exact same birthday of mine, of his new, unbeknownst to me, girlfriend, who was 5 years younger than me but shared the same birthday. We've had this conversation before, but that was the most disrespectful gift I've ever received.
So
Fuck
disrespectful.
That. Fuck that gym.
Yucky, right?
Fuck that tank top. Fuck that gym.
You should take that tank top and wipe your backside with it when you go to the bathroom.
I don't know what I did with that tank top.
It's burned somewhere.
God.
It's gone.
Terrible.
It's not here.
Mar?
I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to get too messy and have family members hate me. But when I was a kid, I received a Christmas gift that I thought was from my mother, but it was from my mother actually. But I was under the impression that it was this family member that gave it to me, and she didn't correct me when I said thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, she's foul.
Yeah, that's
very
foul. I won't say nothing because that's your family.
And I'm a kid. I was a kid at this point too. Not yet returned to live with my mother, by the way. So yeah, not cool.
No.
If we had a sound effect like a Biggie kick in the door, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. So I have not the worst, but the cringiest gift. So again, everyone knows I'm a high school teacher. I'm also a female high school teacher. And I had a student give me a nightgown a male student give me a nightgown.
What?
Not once, every year.
What?
Stop it.
I'm telling you, like
where's this child's mother?
One of those silky nightgowns that are strapped.
No.
Yes.
You mean like with the thin straps?
It's
all nicely tucked around.
It wasn't too thick. The point is, no child should be giving their teacher a nightgown. Male, female, non-binary, they, them, Z in the middle.
Oh my gosh.
Don't give teachers nightgowns. We only want gift cards and alcohol. That's all we want.
That's Me Too in the making.
Seriously.
So at one point I was like, the first year I was like, huh. And then I got 5 nightgowns, right? And then eventually I was like, yo, what is this? And then I realized it was coming from the student's grandmother.
Oh, okay.
But
all I'm hearing in my head is with a nightgown for a teacher because I knew I'd get a kiss. So I got mad when except it's an apple.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Far Side is in my head.
No.
I thought it was from grandma. I mean, grandmas send those kind of gifts.
I know,
but do.
Grandmas don't know gifts well.
I realized that while the student was giving to me, the student was equally as awkward as I was receiving it because I was like, what? And they come in different colors.
Weird for both of us.
Yeah. Anyways, I was the cringiest. So this is a confession moment question. What's the first thing you ever stole?
First thing I ever stole? Probably money. Probably some change. Yeah.
I stole an eraser. I remember. It felt so bad after the fact, but like I did it. I stole an eraser from like a little store in Dubai.
Shout out to that store. Sorry, yo. Sorry. I think I'm with Mar. My mother is a deep sleeper, and I think my brothers and I used to snatch her change.
What?
While she was sleeping. Her change.
I thought you said her chain.
No, I realized. I'm still tired.
You know how you have a family member's got like the loose change or whatever?
Yeah.
They got like at that time there were like smaller bills.
You take the quarter and you slip it and you make sure like you make it seem like the pile was never touched. But my mom got smart, man. She used to start sleeping with her money underneath her pillow and shit. So she was like, y'all ain't getting
perfectly warranted
team of thieves.
Yeah, y'all are not getting me on my sleep. She used to tell us too. My mother used to also make us do these, like not me, because I was the good kid. My mom used to make my brothers do these fucked up things. Like if they wanted money, she would be like, okay, you had to like rub her toes. Oh my God, my brothers hated this shit. It was so funny. That was probably the best gift I ever got was watching them.
The warden.
The warden. All right, so this is another confessional one. If you were to have sex with someone famous or otherwise who is not of the gender of your sexual preference, who would it be? That's why you get
that's
flustered.
easy. Rihanna. But she's knocked up right now, so I can't have her.
Doesn't mean that she can't get it.
Oh, she can get it all day, every day, if I were of that persuasion. But for me, it would be Rihanna. Oh no, or Jodie Turner Smith. Do you guys know who that is?
No, come on.
We have to look. I don't know.
Listeners, who's Jodie Smith?
Jodie Turner Smith. She is the actress that was in what was that movie? Queen and Slim.
Oh, okay.
She's a British actress. She's married to who's that white dude from
gorgeous.
Dawson's Creek?
Which one?
Joshua.
Yeah.
What's his name there?
Joshua Jackson.
Yes,
Joshua
that's it.
Look at Joshua Jackson getting chocolate.
Jodie Turner is absolutely stunning. She is so stunning.
Okay.
I saw her in also in like a remake of Anne Boleyn.
Okay.
You know, old middle-aged Shakespearean royalty sort of story. If anyone knows the Boleyn sisters, they'll know who that is. But anyway, it was a remake with her in it. Very inclusive, more racialized version of Anne Boleyn. And she's super dope. I just love her. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, she'd be my number 2 after Rihanna.
Oz?
I don't know. I'm still thinking about this one. Do you have one, Niche?
Oh, I do. I have two. I've had two girl crushes from time.
Let me hear
One
it.
is Nia Long. Yo, I think Nia Long is
true.
so dope.
She's so
And
awesome.
she is. She's very beautiful. Actually, I have three, which is making me question myself now there. I like Nia Long a lot. Sana Lathan. Oh, she's another one I think is super
she's
dope.
really pretty.
And Regina Hall.
Oh, I love Regina Hall. She's best friends with Sanaa Lathan, right?
Yeah, I think Regina Hall she's a very good actress and she doesn't get enough props as she deserves.
Yeah, I agree. She's super dope.
But Nia Long has always been my little girl crush. I'm always like, oh, you're cute. I like you. You're cute. I've always thought she was cute.
I mean, guys, this is really hard for me to position it that way. I mean, I think there's a lot of really beautiful women, but I think I would go for Megan Thee Stallion because I love her personality and I think she's really beautiful. And I've always thought that Scarlett Johansson was really, really pretty.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah.
So that's my two.
Okay, so this is more of a serious question. And I might have to go first because you may need to reflect. What do you want?
I'm so glad I didn't eat edibles before the show.
Oh my God. Oh, speaking of which, maybe I need to pop one of those before the play.
All right, okay. All right, let's get
What do you want to be your legacy?
Man, that's a really serious question. My goodness.
Hey, it's a fluster. It's a fluster question.
I'm going to mute myself here for
Wow, way to put me on the spot there, Mar.
That's what I said.
You answer it.
That's what I said. I might have to start. Niche. I think if I had to decide, I had to think about this recently because I don't know, because I'm a teacher and I think this is the shit we think about. But if I had to be my legacy, it would be that I always was down to make sure that folks got their rights or like always.
I can see it.
Yeah. And I was always like, I always went above and beyond. I think that's what it is. I always went above and beyond.
I think for me, it would be my attachment to music and impacting people with music. It's not my own music, but it's, bringing music into people's lives in whichever way. So like if people think back and they'll be like, oh yeah, Azar introduced me to da-da-da, or Azar connected me with so-and-so, or Azar, some kind of musical impact. But also I really want to go down being a good and selfless mom. Like for me, motherhood has taken over in a way, and I just really just give my entirety to my kids. And I would love for them to acknowledge and remember that, and for other people to also see that kind of love and passion that I have towards my children. And I want them to be an example of what I have nurtured them with,
Yeah. All right, Mar.
I would say on a personal level, I would want people to remember, at least feel like I made them feel loved. I hope that I've embodied that. Like that's usually the first thing biblically that, Jesus calls for, is for people to love one another more. That's like the first thing. It's like the ultimate thing before everything else. And that's why I really feel like that is just, it's a very simple rule, is to really love other people. And yeah, it's hard to sometimes. Some of y'all make it real hard, like real difficult. Let me tell you, I struggle sometimes.
Oh, I hear that.
The Lord is working on me. He's really working on me, and I'm trying my best. I really am. But I hope that my family, my friends, people,
well, I'm good. I feel loved by you
and whatnot. Yeah, I always try to express that, in whatever way. It's not always a love that says, "Hey, let's shag." That's not it at all. It's just I want people to know, even when nobody else is fucking with you, I am. That's kind of how
I actually think the three of us have that in common. That loyalty, loyalty bond.
Yeah. On a professional level, I would say I want it's basically the same thing like you, Oz. I want my writing to be, the game changer, the changer in people's lives. I would hope that they've read something that I wrote, and as a result, maybe their lives have been changed, or they thought differently about something. Maybe they looked at something related to like Black history that I've written, and maybe they have been educated in some way. That's what I hope that, I am leaving behind on a professional level. And not done yet, still doing the writing. Just hope
you got this.
I can get out there in front of more eyeballs.
I didn't even think about separating. I think because the two of them are so intertwined for me, the personal and professional. But I definitely feel loved, Mar, and I definitely think you're a dope mom. Great. And you introduced me to musical prison people. So Oz, we're good. We're good.
Why you gotta be prison people?
Because that's the one, when people, I think of Cypher, I think about the biorhythm hum, the
prison bays.
And the prison bays. Like, I'm like, and Medina Green. I can't even front.
Yes.
I love Medina Green. I can't even front. Okay. So if you were thinking of breaking up with a partner, who would you talk about it with?
Oh, I'm off, like, I know off the rip. I have a really good friend. Her name is Kat. And she literally is my sounding board for everything, especially relationship wise. I mean, that's just the relationship that I have with her. She knows the intimate details of anybody I've ever been with, I guess. Well, anybody I've been with since I've been friends with her. And she seems to have a very open ear and lots of time for that kind of stuff for me. So that's my go-to with relationships.
Oh, I should have mentioned. And she also sends Uber. So Kat, if you're listening, I'm like, yo, send a girl some Uber. Like, what's up?
Yeah, some lasagna in an Uber. That's my girl. Yeah.
I meant to.
Kat's a G.
That's a G.
I've learned to love Koi restaurant because of her.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
I don't think I've ever met her.
She hooked me up in getting a reservation there through
That's
you.
right. Yeah? I remember. And you know what else? She took me on vacation, girls. Not too many people, not too many of your homegirls. She straight up took me to Tulum, Mexico.
That's a proper friend. That is a proper friend.
I'm looking for that friend. No, I'll just aside. But I forgot to tell the listeners that the cards actually have exclamation marks, meaning the more exclamation marks there are, the more flustered you are. So the sex one with the famous people has 3, meaning it's meant to mega fluster you. But shout out to Kat. Honestly, it's really weird. Like, I would talk to the person who's least removed from the situation, and me and my husband. Because
least removed?
So you want a more objective point of view.
Yeah, thank you, Oz. I'm not thinking, listeners. I've been up since 4:30.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
But the most removed, like in my life, my friends are like concentric circles, and they're all close, but it's just different degrees of closeness. And I would want the person that I could be the most honest with, and believe it or not, that's outer the circle. And
that makes sense.
It's weird, right? Because you would think I would talk to the person that I'm the closest to, but I feel if listeners, you've been listening to the show, I don't like to journal. I don't like to record my thoughts. Fuck that shit, because I don't like the judgment. And the person who's closest to you has the highest ability of judging you. So I choose somebody further away in distance.
So, it makes sense. It's kind of like a protective kind of way to deal with it.
And and also somebody who's not too close to the situation to both of us as a couple, right? So I would probably talk to Ben. So Ben, Charlie Brown. I love you, Ben. Shout out to Ben. Ben and I met, oh my God, I'm 44 now. Oh my God, 25 years ago in San Diego. And he was in the military, and we have been really good friends. He is a poet. He's originally from New York, and now he lives in North Carolina. And we just talk shit, but we talk a lot. Like when we're trying to deconstruct things, we're each other's concentric circles. So I would definitely talk to Charlie Brown. I call him Charlie Brown. We definitely talk to Ben. And he's one of the few people who as a male, when I'm going back to my polyamorous self, we've been friends for 25 years since I was 19. Like this dude disappeared and I investigated to find him. I was like, "Where's Charlie Brown? I haven't heard from him." And he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you went looking for me." I was like, "Yeah." So that I would talk to Ben. What about you, Mar?
It depends. I go to, for every kind of life advice, I usually go to my adoptive mom, my ex's mother, because she's been my ride or die since I lost my mom, my biological mother. And so I really count on her advice to kind of guide me through life, like she has always been doing for quite some time. But at the same time, it really depends on how well she knows my partner, the person that I'm with. Because if she really likes you, she rides for you to a fault. Even with all of the mistakes. And I'm not sure I want someone to be counseling me on that when it's very clear, like, you need to have more of an objective point of view on the situation. So you can really understand like both sides and think of it without your heart, as opposed to, being much more logical. And then I would also say that if she's not available, then I have a bestie, my best friend Hong from high school, who I've known since I was 14 years of age. She's the person I would go to with my dirty deeds and lies and everything. She knows where the bodies are buried. She knows.
Oh gosh, there's some Ozark shit going on here.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift it to something a little less serious and a little bit fluffy and nice and lovey.
Let me just say that if either of those two women are not available, it's you two that I'm going to after that, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
As long as we don't
the radio
record
show.
it.
I mean, the podcast.
No, we ain't talking about that shit.
No, not in the podcast, obviously.
Listen, as long as you don't record and take notes and put it in a song, we're good.
It's before the record button is pressed.
Okay. So actually, this one you both will love this question. If you had to choose one quality of the person to your right to be your own, what would it be? So let me help you out there. If I had to choose a quality of Mars to be mine, what would it be? Mar, what would you choose of Oz? And Oz, what would you choose of me? Because that's my right. So we're going with my right.
A quality, a personal quality?
A personal quality, yes. So I have to start because I'm going right? So if I had to choose a quality of Mars that I would take in and integrate into my personality, it would be hands down, Mar has the ability to be emotional and objective simultaneously. It's uncanny. Like I can be emotional and objective, but I'm gonna burn some shit before I get to objective. Like and this is hence why I don't talk to many people and don't like to record my thoughts and stuff, because it can get dark. Like I talk about how to like strip skin off. I really get upset. I have a temper. I can get very upset.
You feel away.
Yeah.
I definitely feel away. I'll be burning clothes and shit, like waiting to exhale. But I think when I talk to Mar, you have such a way of channeling the anger in a way that makes sense, and it's articulated. The balance of the Libras.
It's some Libra shit right there, yeah.
Because when I'm super fired and passionate, like listeners, you could talk to Mar and Mar could just recenter that shit. She'd be like, boom.
It's like, I remember the first time I met Mr. Z. Remember we all, both of our partners, we had like a double date.
And they actually like each other quite a bit.
Yeah, they really do. It's like a bromance erupted there.
Yeah.
And I remember he said to you, he was like, calm down. And that's how I am. It's like, before you go and like, don't get a felony, just relax and let's just like talk and think things through. Let's let's just hear everything out. You're right. That is exactly how I am. Yeah. The voice of reason. Yeah.
But I like it. I like it. So let's
I
pick up
appreciate that.
Oz's.
Thank you. If I could take a personality trait of Oz, it would be her like just amazing ability to just weave through so many different personalities and be like the connector that she is. I feel like you really do help a lot of people in your industry and just in general, and you just do it like selflessly and so easily. And I'm the type of person where I hold back because it takes me a while to get to know people. I don't open up right away. I'm not saying you do, because I know you do have a bit of a barrier, but it's certainly not as high as mine at all. And you just have this uncanny ability to just like weave through different relationships. You know where to put people in different pockets and different compartments and areas, and you keep them at a distance or you keep them close, and you just know how to really work a room and connect with people on a professional level. Like that I highly admire. And you just go about doing shit like the stuff that I saw you do with Day by Day. I was like thoroughly impressed with your stint at that company, because I was just like, she's totally rocking it over there. Totally rocking it. I know it was like a difficult period, but you held it down. You really did. That's what I admired.
Thank you, girl. I appreciate that so much.
I love it.
And for me, if I could take something from Nesha, it's the fact that she takes absolutely no shit from nobody. Really. I mean, I thought I was good at kind of like, avoiding but there is no question that Nesha will not take your shit. And I wish I had that, that if I embodied that and I would exude the I am taking no shit from you feeling that Nesha has.
I didn't realize I had that.
Oh,
yes, you do.
you
definitely do.
In the pocket, in the bag, you have it.
Well, that comes from my mama.
There you go.
At least you stand on something, because there's some people who stand on stuff, but then they get a little flaky and turn differently, in another setting. You're pretty consistently 100 all the time.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It is admirable. It's powerful. It's strong, and
no faking jacks. Nope. No faking jacks at all.
I could use.
It's funny. I don't think any of us, including our listeners, take the time to realize the great things about one another. Like not about someone else, about yourself. Because I realize I don't sit down and think about, like, I have new clients and they say, well, what are the things that you can bring to the table? And in my head, I'm like, I don't have time to think about that question. I got work to do, but we don't take enough time to honor our personalities and what we do. So thank you for saying that, ladies. Now, moving on to scary questions, because it has 3 exclamation marks. What do you think is the scariest aspect of dying?
Oh, God.
I have to say right off the bat, listeners, this card has totally provoked high-level anxiety in me. It's the one thing that I am massively anxious about. And I think it got triggered, or it created when my aunts died about 13 months apart. And I really developed like a massive anxiety around it. Like I wasn't sleeping well at one point. My heart, I actually gave myself tachycardia, where I had a fast heart rate, and I really had to incorporate breathing mechanisms in, because losing these 2 women in a short amount of time, that's
a lot.
Oof.
That is a lot of trauma. Yeah.
Yeah. It really, it shifted everything. It shifted a lot. So what's the scariest aspect of dying?
The scariest aspect of dying, I would say for me, especially as someone who is now past the 40-year-old hump, is not getting everything done that I wish to do. Time is so finite right now, and this is why I'm very selective about where I'm spending my energy and who I'm spending my energy with and on. It's just, things change overnight. We're seeing it happen. Like, Russia's invading the Ukraine right now.
I didn't even want to talk about that because
I don't
that
want
makes
to
me
either,
mad.
But I'm just saying that you really don't know what can happen tomorrow. And so I'm very conscious of how I spend my time. Because we have a lot of people think like, oh, it's, time is money. No. And it's not even about money. It's about the value of how much time you have left, especially once you make it over a certain age. So that for me is the big thing is, will I get everything done that I aspire to within the time that I have left?
I'm with you on that, Mar, 1000%. But in addition to that, the scariest thing of death for me is that I think it's the end. Like, I don't really necessarily believe in an afterlife. I don't know where I stand on that concept. I'm not highly religious. I was born very, like, with a lot of, more cultural kind of beliefs as opposed to religious beliefs. I am super undecided about what comes after. And one of the biggest things for me, and it was one of the things that we practiced a lot in this coaching circle that I'm in, that I told you about, wholehearted coaching and the Alchemy Collective, which is like a group coaching kind of thing that I do monthly, is that we were given like this notion that we have a year to live. What would you do? What would you not do? Now you have 6 months to live. What would you do? What would you not do? Now you have a month to live. What would you do? And as I got closer to the thought, and by the way, I was in tears, trying to write these things down. I kept thinking about how much I would miss my kids, but more so how much my kids would miss me, because I know, Mar, you understand. Like, my losing my mom, and it was a much older age than you, it has left such a void in my life, and I don't ever want my kids to feel that pain. And especially not knowing what's on the other side, I almost don't have the comfort and security of knowing that I'm still there for them. And that scares me the most about that.
Yeah.
That's
really deep.
Yeah. Mine's is superficial and stupid. Besides, I want to know what people are going to say about me. I'm scared. Hey, I got to lighten up. Actually, to be fair to the listeners, this is my way of dealing with the anxiety of the question being asked, because it affects me that deeply that I actually feel hot and nervous because I don't like talking about it so much. But yeah, I'm all about that concept, giving people flowers while they're alive.
Right.
And I keep thinking about, like, if I know I get diagnosed with a disease and I'm going to die, I think I might have a live funeral. I'm thinking about it. I'm playing with the ideal. I'm playing
not mad
with the
at
idea.
That. Why not experience the love and the admiration and the flowers, like you said, while you're right here?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a bit. So
I want to go out like a traditional funeral in New Orleans.
Just I love that.
Roll me down the street.
I love it.
Don't feel sorry for me. Be happy. Mar is okay. She's good. Just live your life. Be happy. Live it to the best of your ability while you have it left.
Exactly.
And shake the coffin around a little bit too, because I like to do a little dancing.
You look at us shimmying,
even when I'm asleep.
I can't deal with you too. The other thing is, I would be, God forbid, but I would be mad if I died, because I'd be like, shit, I just got married. Can I live?
Can I live?
Can I live?
Am I dead? Can I live?
It took me a long
when
time.
Are you dying? You're making it sound like you're about to leave this earth in like 2 days or something.
I was mad. I was like, that's one of the anxieties. Be like, shit, I didn't even get to enjoy the married life. Like, can I live? So but let's move on to something lighter, please.
Let's do it.
So this question, sometimes these questions make me laugh. How do you think?
Just read it, goddammit.
What is it?
How do you think your exes would describe you.
Oh,
shit.
I told you.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God, that shit is funny. Come on.
I don't know.
Yo, it depends on the ex. How about that? It depends on the ex.
Yeah.
Okay, so give us a word. Okay, your most recent ex. How do you think they would describe you?
My most recent ex is like head over heels in love with me. So he would just describe he's an outlier. Like... It's a whole different thing.
Okay.
But any ex before that, no, that's not true. I have an ex who listens to the show, and I think he would speak highly of me. So there's that. But I want to say it really depends on how he broke up. But I think everybody else would just, they wouldn't be feeling me too much. I don't know if there's a word, because I think each experience has a, like, one is probably, lying evil bitch. The other one is probably like, fucking controlling hoe. Like, I don't know. Shit. I don't know. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Funny. I told you it's a fluster. It had 3 exclamation marks.
Man, that's a really tough question, though, Nesha. Seriously.
I didn't ask it. I flustered it.
Any of my exes between 1995 and 2000 will probably say I'm crazy. They might be right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I was at that time. I am not that way now. I went to therapy. I am good now. I'm a totally
We're better now.
Healed person.
You don't have to sell it to nobody. We are all works in progress.
Outside of that era, yeah, I think they could speak highly of me. I don't know.
I don't know. I think my exes would say, okay, my most recent ex would be like, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. Because, you know why? Because not the ex you're thinking about. Wait, this is
Bumble? Mr.
Bumble ex, yeah. He would say she's a bitch.
Separated Bumble?
Exactly. He would say she's a bitch. Well, he can
go take a fucking seat. That's what I think about that situation.
Have several of them, sir. Several.
He would say I'm a bitch because, because I was never dating exclusively, and I told him that, and I was like, and then I met my husband and got married. So you bitter, like that's not a problem. My ex before that would say I'm too available.
What does that even?
You're too available.
Yeah, my long-term ex would probably say she's too available. Yeah.
He takes issues with your polyamorous relationships.
No, he takes issues with just being a boyfriend. Yeah, he had
so
problems.
It's a him thing. It's a him thing. Right.
Now this question has 1 exclamation, but I saw the question and there's first thing that came to my mind. So I hope you enjoy this question. What's something that you've learned to love?
What's something that I've learned to love?
Brussels sprouts.
I love Brussels sprouts. Oh my God, they're so yummy.
Brussels sprouts.
Mine's
it's true. I hated them as a child. I've learned to love them.
I like them a lot, actually.
I have learned to love my body as I grow older.
There you go.
Y'all are keeping it diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm for real. Like I didn't really care about my body before. It was there. But now I really love my body.
Well, I've always loved your body, Mar.
I've always loved your body too.
I had a feeling. A feeling.
No, I was pretty vocal about loving your body from day one.
Well, I'm glad the both of you are going this way because the first thing that came to my head, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to say that. I was like, sucking dick. Sorry. Sucking dick.
See, I knew it had
I was like, because I was like, when I first had to do a blowjob, I was like, I don't like this shit. Like, and you know why? Because it was a fucking power dynamic. It's a power dynamic. It's the power dynamic. But when I realized that I could wield the power in this situation, I was like, oh, okay. I could learn to like this.
See, I can't say that was something I grew to love. It's been pretty awesome from day one. But anyway.
We're all flustered.
I'm in that camp. So, next question.
Body. You gotta love our messy.
No, the best part is that the answers span from dick to Brussels sprouts.
So, okay, it may be our last question, but I
Okay.
will have another one.
Okay.
What did your 13-year-old self think you'd be doing at the age you are now?
13-year-old self?
I thought
Yes.
I'd be a veterinarian.
Oh, wow.
13.
Really? Well, okay,
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me actually. But what happened? What detoured you?
I couldn't stand seeing sick animals.
Oh, so it detoured you.
Yeah, it started with me like thinking, great, I want to be around animals for the rest of my life. And then one trip to the vet, and I was like, damn, what the fuck? I don't want to do this. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
13 years old, I would say I had two things that were floating around in my mind. One was to be a choreographer, inspired by all the Janet Jackson videos that I saw.
Yes.
And was it a fashion designer? I would say fashion really came
shit.
like maybe
Okay.
a little bit later. No, I'd say more the choreography. Dancing has always been a thing for me.
Okay.
That's amazing. Oh, I always wanted to be a teacher. I was
Yeah,
yeah,
you
always.
told us.
Always, yeah.
You were
I
born
lined up
ready.
dolls. Yeah, lined up dolls, bossed them around, took my preemie brother, bossed him around. I had Cabbage Patch Kids. I used to put them in a classroom setting and stick my 2-pound brother in there as well and just teach them.
Did you have real Cabbage Patch Kids?
I had several. I had the twins. I had the black one. I had several. I still have them. My mom has held on to them in the hopes that I was having a magical daughter from the stork. But
so my mom bought me a fake one once for Christmas. It looked almost exactly alike, but then I knew it was fake because all the stuffing came out of its neck and it died.
That was just a jugular issue. Yeah. Don't shame the Cabbage Patch
had one
Kid
too.
like that.
Mine
was a phony Cabbage Patch.
Mine was called Elsa. I had one. Her name was Elsa.
Not like Frozen Elsa, right?
No, she had brown hair. She had brown
hair?
eyes. She had hair. She had brown hair.
See, I had the baby. Mine didn't have hair.
Just jugular problems. Okay, last question.
One more question? Time for one more question?
Yes, one more to wrap up this edition of Fluster. And it's a good one. What is the most significant difference between the person you are now and the person you were 5 years ago? So that would, I don't know, 5 years is different for
5 years ago. Wow.
5 years ago.
I feel like I am a lot more at peace today than I was 5 years ago, and that I am way more, I want to say in control, but less controlling. So in a sense that I feel like I used to really get flustered. You like what I did there? When, around life events or whatever. And it was very easy to shift my energy for anybody and anything. And I feel like today I have much more control of my emotions and of my feelings, of my state, of my energy. I have a much better understanding of how that's mine. It's all mine, and I am the one to control that.
Master of one's destiny.
That's where I'm at.
Cool.
Mar?
I would say the difference between now and 5 years ago. Self-love. I already said it. I love my body more than I did before. And just accepting people as they are. I'm still working on it, but I'm really getting better at that. Like I really, really am. Before it was always like, yeah, you're a dick. We should try to change that. Now it's like,
let's work on that.
You're a dick, but that's on you, not me.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So 5 years ago, I was 39, going into 40. Yeah, I
Little
was
youth.
in little youth. I was in New Orleans actually for my 40th.
I remember that.
I think it's interesting. I think maybe a little bit of self-love and confidence, like almost like a coming out. Again, I lost a lot of weight. It's actually going to be 4 to 5 years now. And I think shedding not only the pounds, shedded a lot of impossibilities. It's interesting for me. Like I feel I'm a lot more like I was always a bit bold despite the weight or in spite of, but now I'm even more kind of like in your face, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna do this. Like I zip lined across Brighton Beach. Was I scared? Did I scream the whole time? Yeah. But I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna do this. Right. It's so a lot more giving into my adventurous side, planned adventurous side. But
that's
definitely
a really common feeling I find when you go through dramatic weight loss. Like I felt the same thing too. Oddly enough, it was sort of timed right around before I turned 40 as well, where I had like dropped about, I think it was like a total of 50 pounds or so that had been gained like throughout my early 30s. And then I just worked on dropping a lot of it. And the thing is, what happens is when you lose so much weight, you feel like
you met somebody new.
Yeah, you don't even feel like you get your old self back. You're like in a whole other different form. Yeah. It's not just a physical loss, but it's also spiritual and an emotional and psychological change as well, right?
And in some ways, it's like I also think that the weight is like a Linus blanket, right? Like it's a friend. It's comfortable. You know it. You understand it, but it's not always a good friend.
But in your case, what it's done is it's opened you up to being bolder and accepting more possibilities in your life, right? It's helped you, like you mentioned in a previous episode, you felt like you're a late bloomer on like the style and fashion side,
I'm still
right?
a late bloomer on that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I totally understand where you're coming from.
So but the funny thing is I had this conversation with my 39-year-old self saying, yo, we ain't taking this shit into 40. I distinctly remember having this conversation with myself saying, yo, you ain't dragging him into 40. I remember, and I knew the relationship was over because I was like, the worst thing that happens in a woman is when they make their mind up, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I knew. So yeah. But I still had good times in my 39, so I can't lie.
In the words of our great predator
R.
singer
Kelly,
friend.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Oh no.
When a woman's fed up.
Oh God. Okay. Now who's trying to get us canceled? Oh my God.
That's why you my sis.
I'm right here, baby.
Oh
I'm right
no.
here.
Oh no. Well, listeners, this was our episode of Fluster. I'm ending it because these two are scaring me. No, seriously though. Check out the games. I think the games are a great conversation starter. I think they allow you to get to know each other on a deeper level. There's couples editions, there's family editions. And there's something about storytelling that's so primitive in us. Like, people want to know, we want to hear that information. So check out the game Fluster. If you have any game recommendations for me, please let me know. I'm trying to see, listeners, if we can play a version of Cards Against Humanity on the show, because Cards Against Humanity will really
love
bring out
that
some
game,
shit.
but it's kind of hard to play remotely. It really is kind of tough.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
But that's a wrap for us.
That's a wrap.
I love you, ladies.
Episode 25. Love you both.
Episode 25, y'all. Thanks again. Until next week, be well. Peace.
Peace.